Are you tired of going through a game behind the plate and trying to remember stuff the next day, but not really being able to? I've been thinking about that for a long time as a catcher, and as even more as a catching coach, on how to get in-game notes back to myself. So I started with what most people do, and they write down on a journal, they write down notes, they tell their coach puts it in notes on their phone, and it's really, really been hard to be consistent in getting that feedback back to yourself behind the plate. So for the last couple of years, I've really been looking for something that would make that process a lot easier. So today we're going to talk about Always Grind 365 catching notebooks. My name is Jack Farrett, owner of Catchers U, and today we're going to talk some baseball. What I really like about this product is it focuses and narrows the focus of our catchers and what they should be thinking about when it comes to thinking about developing and making their game better behind the plate. As most of us do, when we get to our practice, we catch our bullpens, and that's kind of it. We're working on our mechanics, we're working on getting a feel for our pitchers, but other than that, we really don't have much of an understanding of what other information we could be thinking about. So the first part of this notebook talks about your staff. And what my staff is, it's an opportunity for you to take individual notes about each one of your pitchers. The reason why this is so important is because during the course of a game, there are certain things that we have to remember for each different pitcher. This is an opportunity to go ahead and write those notes down during our bullpens. So what you can do is you write your pitcher's name down, and then after that, you can take notes about their windup or their stretch. You can write in stuff that they like to do before they pitch in a game. Maybe they like to sprint. Maybe they like to get some long distance running in. Maybe they like to long toss. Maybe they don't. This is where we can kind of chart that so we can help our pitchers stay on plan, stay on target. The part that I really like about this is the emotional and mechanical cues. These are so valuable when it comes to us as catchers because now this is an opportunity for us to kind of listen to what the pitching coach or whoever's working in the bullpen with our pitchers is saying to our pitcher and having success. So an emotional cue could be like slow down or speed up or stay calm. A mechanical cue might be break your hands faster, use the mound. There are many different things that our coaches say to each pitcher that has success. The reason why we want to write these down is because now these are the things that we can talk about with our pitcher throughout the course of the game. And now we're not creating or saying anything new, we're just regurgitating and restating things that they've already heard in a practice format. And at the bottom there's notes, and those notes are kind of for you as a receiver, what you need to do, what you need to work on, how you're going to approach certain pitches. Maybe a pitch that has late movement, you're going to think about a different way to move your glove before the pitch comes to you, or you're going to think about starting underneath or maybe getting to the top of the zone depending on how they pitch. So these notes right here are just for you, and that's something that you can review right before you're catching your pitcher. Okay, the next one that I really like a lot is the game logs, okay? And so the second part of the notebook is game logs. So this is stuff that we can do during games. Now, in the showcase travel ball world, it's still going to be really important to kind of get in the habit, but these are really, really valuable for your high school games or league games. So say you play in a local travel league and you're playing a team more than one time, or you're able to play against similar players. Because what you can do in these is when we're talking about, we can write who pitched for our team, okay, the game, the opponent, okay, and the one little part that I really love there that they throw in here is the umpire. Learning umpires' names, I think, is such an important thing to get into a habit of because it really kind of makes the relationship between an umpire and a catcher more intimate if you're calling them by their name and maybe it's Mr. Jim, maybe it's Mr. Smith, maybe it's a nickname like Ralphie, whatever the umpire wants to call you, you'd rather call him that than Blue or Ump. And a lot of times you can give that information, what their name is, to your coach, and that will make the conversations in between innings, as well as maybe any kind of confrontational calls, a little bit smoother, because now you're saying the umpire's name that he gave you rather than Blue or Ump. So this also goes through the opposing team's lineup. I know right now it's 1 through 9. I know the guys that always grind 365 are coming up with a new model that might also include, I think, through 12 to help with travel ball and showcase lineups as well. So that way you can fill those out. And what I also like about this from a travel and showcase is, especially if you play in an organization with more than one team, now you have notes on hitters that you could share to other teams in case they play the same competition. And then on the back, post-game reflection, okay? It goes over receiving, blocking, throwing, what you did well, what you didn't do well, and then also what you can work on or what you want to work on when it comes to your upcoming training sessions or practices. So I really like this because it organizes your thoughts and forces you to come up with either a positive or a negative and gives you something to think about on the ride home. And like I said, there's a part right here, what I did well, what do I need to improve on? Notice it says improve on, didn't do bad, we can only get better. So I really like the thought process behind that. And then finally, we have the practice log, okay? And the practice logs are really, really cool. It focuses you again on what you come to work on. And a lot of times we need to be efficient when we are working as a catcher because, as we know, a lot of times catchers don't get a ton of individual work in any practice. So if you kind of map out what you want to do and what you're going to go over, and then you can kind of talk to your coach beforehand about what you're trying to work on in practice, and then you can jot down what you did work on, what you need to work better on, maybe some emotional or mechanical cues that your coach has used for you. So now you can have this all here. I really, really, really enjoy using this, and I've, given it to almost all my catchers that I work with. It's really made a difference, and it's really made a difference, to be honest with you, in our conversations that we've had between catcher and coach, because now they're way more organized and they're more focused on what they need to do to get better. So utilizing this catching notebook for me has been unbelievable. It's been amazing. It's something that I really, really endorse and hope that most catchers will continue to get. But I wanted to share my thoughts with you today because I know a lot of us are probably going over the same stuff over and over, and they forget, what, I forgot about this or I forgot about that. This is a great way for you to organize your thoughts and track your progress as a catcher. So if you could like and comment on this video, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, my name's Jack Farrer from Catchers U, and I'll be seeing you soon.